All right, welcome back to Pharmacist on Call. Your host, your community pharmacist, Dr. Sean Pruitt, owner of the Kangen Water Store of Nashville, owner of Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy, the pharmacy choice for the uninsured. Well, everyone, as I kind of mentioned, it is American Pharmacist Month. It is October, but we'll get into that a little later. Right now, we've got a caller. Line 1, Marsha, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may I help you?
Yes, I would like to know, I was taken off of my blood pressure medication for a while, but then I'm back on it.
Yes, ma'am.
I found some that expired in like September. Should I throw that away, or is it still good since this is just the beginning of October? I think I have a 90-day supply.
September of, like, last month?
Yes.
And it expired in September?
The end of September.
Okay, one question before that. Who took you off, and are you putting yourself back on it?
Well, the doctor took me off because I had lost weight, but he told me to kind of monitor it, to see how it goes, and lately it's been kind of fluctuating, so when I called, he told me to try it like every other day.
Okay, what medication is that, by the way?
Amlodipine.
Okay, amlodipine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just about the expiration of medications, that's kind of what you have on the bottle there is generally a guideline, but there is research out there to suggest that expired medications may maintain their value up to 5 years after expiration date. And I'll tell you that, hey, I've been known to take expired medication, well, over-the-counter medication that may be a year or two old. The only issue is once it gets too old, you kind of think of it like milk. So milk is not itself, once it begins to expire, it turns into something that may be toxic. But certainly if it just expired last month or even a year, maybe even 2 years, I would say that's fine to continue to use.
Okay, and one quick question.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you have expired medication that you need to discard, where is it that you can throw it away at? Or
You raise an interesting point, because we are planning a drug take-back at the pharmacy towards the end of this month. So we may either run a commercial on that, but just kind of stay tuned. So yeah, but bring it to any local pharmacy near you. That would be the best place to dispose of it. Yeah, do not throw it in your trash can, because you have people that rummage through it that may take it and may hurt them, and certainly you don't want to flush it down the toilet. So take it to your nearest pharmacy.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. So as I was saying, we were talking about the benefits of water, but first let me slide in this little promo here. It is October, so it is Halloween. It's also American Pharmacist Month, and as I said, we encourage you to get to know your pharmacist. So with it being American Pharmacist Month and October, Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy is a promotion. If you transfer in 2 or more prescriptions, we are going to give you one of these puppies here, an extra large Hershey chocolate bar, as a treat to us, saying thank you to you for transferring to us. So 2 or more prescriptions, transfer it in, we'll give you one of these guys here. Now, I know my regulars, you know what, I'm going to include you all too. So go ahead and bring in, let me hold you all a little higher there. Let's say 4 for my regulars. You fill 4 prescriptions in the month, you get one of these as well. But new patients, transfer in 2 or more, you get a king size Hershey bar. I guess it's extra large there, whether it's called. So getting back to the water itself, what conditions would it help? So since we know that it reduces acidity in the body, or neutralizes acidity in the body, any condition that you have that arises from having too much acid in your bloodstream or in your joints, this water is going to help. So conditions like acid reflux, and so if you remember the previous caller who called about her Protonics, her pantoprazole, we've had a number of people who drink the water. It reduces the amount of stomach acid and certainly that reflux feeling to the point that they no longer need their medication for acid reflux. So it is truly the cheapest acid reflux medicine around. Not only that, it's healthy for you. Many times we forget that water is 70–75% of our body, so you need to make it the best water possible. Another potential health benefit is this gout or arthritis. As we have a number of people who have had gout relieved to the point that they no longer need their gout medication. In fact, we've got one viewer who purchases up somewhere around 40 gallons. So after 1 gallon, he was convinced, and when he came back to purchase more water, said that he did not need his gout medication any longer. And if you all are taking colchicine or Colchris, you know how expensive that medication is. Those of you who also suffer from arthritis, you get acidity building up into your joints, much like you do with gout. This water gets into the joints, neutralizes that acid, pushes it on out, and helps relieve your symptoms. But we've also had people come in and say that they've lost a lot of weight on this water. So you can think about it pushing the sodium out of your body, and yes, you will begin to lose weight. So we got a couple of ladies who've lost a lot of weight on the water. And the other thing that it does is it kind of fills up your stomach so you're not eating unnecessarily, which can sometimes lead to you eating bad things. The other thing that it has helped with, some of our diabetics are also noticing that their blood sugars are going down as well, and A1Cs. So a benefit for diabetes. I also had a police officer come in and tell me that his total cholesterol went down. What was his LDL? Well, his cholesterol went down, and he said he was exercising to maintain his diet. The only thing he did was start drinking alkaline water versus the regular bottled water. So a number of health benefits from the water, but there are some that I had no idea that the water would even help. So I had a young lady come in and tell me that she's been drinking the water to help with her fibromyalgia. So I did not know that it helped with fibromyalgia. Another lady came in and said that it helps with her symptoms of menopause. I had no idea that there was an acidic component to menopause, but I guess there is. And then another lady came in and said that it helps her manage her depression. So apparently there's an acidic component with dealing with some of the brain chemicals as well, the serotonins and the norepinephrines. So again, the water has several health benefits. So I would encourage you all to get the alkaline water. I'm sure you've heard a lot about it, and actually most of the momentum is coming from everyone's personal testimonies. So word of mouth is probably our biggest advertiser about it. I was wondering if we could get into some of our supplements now, since we have them up here. We previously discussed our beetroot juice, and so for those of you who suffer from diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, even though you're on your medication, you need a little boost to help bring it on down just a little bit more to push you kind of closer to normal. This right here will get you there. It will drop your A1C, will drop your blood sugars, increase your iron. So this superfood is actually what beetroot juice is. All right, our second supplement here is called saw palmetto. And what it is basically for you guys out there who are having to get up in the middle of the night and use the bathroom. If you're going during the day and you feel like you haven't completely emptied your bladder. So this is for the male prostate gland. So what this does is, what happens in hypertension, just to give you a little physiology lesson here. Little physiology lesson, we'll get into that after we answer line 2, who has Paul. Paul, welcome to Pharmacist-on-Call. How may I help you?
Hey, good afternoon, Dr. Pruitt. How you doing, brother?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was going to call. I just heard you talking, Dr. Pruitt, about alkaline water. I do have severe gout, and it is terrible, Mr. Pruitt.
Yes, sir.
I can't even work sometimes because of it. I mean, if I get a case of it, and I take all that medicine that you just named, and I talked to my doctor, and I told him about alkaline water because I heard you speak on it the last time you was on there, and he didn't really have no information about it. He said it's just a new thing coming out. There really wasn't no studies about it. But you have convinced me, and I'm absolutely going to try that, Dr. Pruitt. Do you really believe that it is health benefit for people like me?
Absolutely. And so we're to the point now, Mr. Paul, that I don't even talk about it anymore, because when someone new comes in, and if one of my, I call them water evangelists, because they are serious about this water, if they hear you ask a question, they're going to chime in. So I don't have to talk about it anymore. My patients and my customers will educate you if you're in there. And they get emotional. They have church about this water in there. It's really amazing because of the dramatic effects that it's had for them. For me, the only benefit, well, I feel pretty good, but I became a believer in the water. I drank it for like 2 years, but I kind of piecemeal drank it. I got sick one day with the flu. You know how you get sick sometimes sometimes you don't really want to eat. So all I did was just drink this water all day and fasted. And when I woke up the next day, I was symptom free. I mean, that kind where you're shivering and all that and sore throat.
Sure.
Yeah, all those symptoms were gone. So I've been drinking it seriously ever since. The entire staff drinks it. My children drink it. So, yeah.
Well, I tell you what. You have sold me on that, and I'm absolutely going to try it. And as a side note, Dr. Pruitt, I used to work in a company called CCA Corrections, and I used to work all over the South in different prisons in the state of Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
And there's an old saying that you have everybody has a twin somewhere in the world.
Yes, sir.
And I'm good friends with a guy in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Dr. Pruitt. And his name is James Jones, and he's one of the best friends I ever had in my life, and God bless him. And I tell you what, you and him, and I actually told him about it. He's a chaplain in a prison down there.
Okay.
I told him about you, Dr. Pruitt, and I said, Brother Jones, if you don't think you ain't got an identical twin here in Nashville, you and him talk and look exactly like, I'm telling you, it's almost something else, Dr. Pruitt. But I wanted to call and tell you it, brother, and I appreciate what you do for people, and God bless you, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Paul. All right. We got one more call on the line. We're going to get to her, but I want to say this first about what he was saying. So his doctor was not that well informed about the water. So two things. One, this water has been around for 30 years, since the 70s. So this device was invented by the Japanese. The word kangen is a Japanese word that means return to the origins of what water was, or return to the roots. But you have to remember, conventional medicine, we're not taught this stuff in school, how to naturally heal ourselves. We're only kind of really encouraged to go by what the school book says. So I learned to do independent research to see how we can teach people to heal themselves. So yeah, a lot of doctors have poo-pooed, the whole water piece, but they can't argue with their patients' numbers getting better. They can't argue with the patient saying, hey, I don't have acid reflux anymore, or I don't have arthritis anymore. So the testimonials speak for themselves and the numbers speak for themselves. They don't lie. Okay. All right, and we've got a call on line 1 here. Welcome to Pharmacist-on-Call. How may we help you?
Yes. Do you have any stores anywhere that sells the water besides in Nashville?
What part of Nashville are you in, man?
We live in Lebanon.
Lebanon, there is nowhere near there. Maybe, now I've heard rumblings that there is one in Mount Juliet, but what the name is, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. You may be able to Google it. Hello, ma'am?
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I can't vouch because you have stores who sell alkaline water, but it's not Kangen water.
Oh,
and my patient will
okay.
tell you will notice the difference. So there are some machines that kind of mimic or copy what our machine does, and they're much lower price, and they're much less quality water. And my customers have told me as much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'd like to commend you for the job that you're doing for the service of the people.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And just to get back to Paul and talking about the twin, I've got several twins apparently, but the most famous twin that I'm always getting compared to is Emmett Smith. So you all hang on right there. We will be right back.